Ah,
How are you?
how's it going?
I got cuties. I'm not afraid to use them. Hey, cat.
Hi, Cat. Look, I know it occasionally happens. We'll flog ourselves later.
What occasionally happens?
We were early.
What? I'm making noise. Okay, good.
God, I hope you are.
Well,
Otherwise, I'd be...
I put in this new setup to either side here. This side holds my just in time for bedtime, says Sarge. The right side over here has my mouse, and the left side now has my keyboard. And the right side over here also has a cup holder so that George can't knock over my water or my coffee in the morning and stuff like that. It's designed to be, a little bit more user friendly. But it was also some construction going on right here. And so I'm like, did I disable my microphone? Things like that. So I was like, oh, good, I'm making noise because I was like, microphone is not disabled. So.
So, did you get everything worked out with your comic?
No, I haven't had time all weekend. I've been doing other things. So we're doing it right now.
Well, that's okay, because even if...
yeah, it's my bad, yeah.
Well, no, even if you wanted to, nothing would have gotten done last week either.
Yeah. Well, the comic is complete. The biggest problem we have is that its aspect ratios are wrong. And now when you set project settings, the project settings don't switch the entire thing. So that's my biggest problem right now, is that the project settings will change one page, but it won't change all 25. And then when it does, the pages are weird. Like, they're still not straight. So I'm just going to, for right now, which will save this entire thing, is I'm just going to take I'm going to make a brand new file that's correctly sized, and then go to the other file, and each page copy and paste them over. Flatten the page, copy, and then paste it, and then don't save it.
Yeah.
And that's...
But what I was alluding to was, even if you had everything perfect, the guy that was, that's their comic guy, was out sick.
On Friday?
On Friday.
Oh.
So, yeah, Bob goes, everything's perfect here, but we can't do anything till next week. I'm like, that's okay.
Yeah. Yeah. Hey, Minty.
Hi, Minty.
Yeah, I mean, that's fine. It's okay. 170 by 260. Why is it a different number for everything?
What are you trying to figure out?
The width and the height of a standard comic book in metric.
Why not switch it to inches?
Because then I'd have to find the width and the height of a standard manga in inches.
Okie dokie.
Oh, you're thinking of repainting your Firebird. You should make green. Not the Pontiac green, because Pontiac had a weird green. All right. All righty. Hey, Kat, if you want to get onto Twitch or something, Pearlescent White. Ooh. Sarge, I totally thought about putting Aztecing on a car. I think that'd be so cool. So, like, you take and you do some of it in flats and some of it in pearlescence and some of it in gloss. Like, total, like, 3-layer Aztecing. That'd be so cool. Needless to say, my friend who was in the car with me just thought I was fundamentally insane. Right? That'd be so cool. This is what Trekkies do when they have nothing better to do in their world. Like, that'd be so cool. Like, geeking out over it. Oh, that'd be so great. No. Maybe. The link hasn't changed, Kat, if you still have it. If you don't, we can figure it out. Right? We have to talk. It's because we're broken people, Sarge. We're so broken. All right. How do I fix... Right? Just nerds. Nerds.
I'll be right back.
Okay. Alrighty. 105 by 158. If our outer is 182. Good night, my friend. I will see you later. I can share for just a minute or two till I start copying pages over. Well, you can do that. That would be awesome. We miss you, man. We miss you. You know how that goes. All right, so you've changed everything. I clicked the button that says everything, and you changed everything. That doesn't surprise me. I guess I should. Canvas should be 160 by 250. Right? Right. All right. And the trim internally no 170 by 260, and the trim will be 160 by, why in the world, what is going on? Why do you do this to me? This is so weird. Okay, 170. Thank you. Honest, I know what I'm doing. Stop helping. Width is 160 minus 2 is 150. It's a difference of 45 pixels. Which means if we make the inner border 150, and the height should be 206. Right. All right. What I think I have done is make a mess, as one can only imagine that would happen if you were doing this. So what I'm doing here is I've set the canvas to be 170 by 260. That's the actual width and height of an American comic book. Then inside on the trim, I trimmed at 160 by 250, so inside by 10 millimeters on each side. And that should give me a 5 millimeter border around each side for the actual trim. Then the inner border is another 10 inside that, which is 150 by 206. That's based on manga scale. So my manga size then is, and you're back. My manga size then is originally 105 by 158 or 160. I can't tell, but 105 by 158. So I'm blowing it up a little bit so that it's actually at the rough edges of the page. And that should give me all of the setups for this, and that should be right. Electrics Rising, episode 0, etc., etc., etc. Side stories 1, and we'll hit OK. Hey, Optic Sphinx, you just destroyed your stomach. Don't do that. That sounds bad.
Yeah, that sounds real bad.
Hey, I think we've got Cat.
You guys hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Wow. All I had to do was use my actual mic.
Your actual, right?
I've just been trying to use like my wireless headset, and for some reason that's so glitchy. So
That's fair.
it wasn't gonna let me stream with my Samsung, so I'm sorry, but at least I'm here.
That's
You
all
can
right.
ask me all the questions.
That's all right, my friend. It's good to have you here.
Yeah,
All right.
it's busy.
So I have been having problems with this comic. I'm building this comic to send to the printer tomorrow morning.
Oh boy.
And when I sent this one was made before issue 1, so all of its settings were all screwed up. Yep, we stream to Facebook.
Hi, Nobi. What's up? Yeah, I occasionally come on here. Occasionally.
Yeah.
Yep. So
Not as often as I should.
we actually have a restreamer. We're streaming to Twitch, Facebook, YouTube.
Picarto.
Ian's going out to Picardo. I'm going out to Twitter because I still have my Twitter account. I don't use it for anything except broadcasting. That's all right.
Anyway, you said you were having trouble with the exporting process?
Well, I'm just, it wasn't, it wouldn't resize properly. They're all like resized weird. Like every one of them is individually weird. So,
Are you, okay, yeah, go ahead.
I think that has something to do with the fact that I must have messed with the pages individually, over, because like I said, this one was made before the other ones, before I learned how to do all of the things that you need to know properly. And so like some of it, like the first page is all the text is flattened and, like weird stuff like,
yeah,
oh, that's strange. Why did I choose that option? I can't edit the text, sort of thing. So there's clearly a whole bunch of, I didn't know how to run Clip Studio when I built this originally.
Oh, I see.
So I'm actually kind of at the point where I think what I'm going to do for right now, just so it can get to the printer, is I've made a new one right here.
You're gonna re-import basically like flattened versions? Like you're gonna save them as is and then import
all these pages and transfer them over, yeah.
You could probably just export them at what I would do is I would just export all at 100%. That way you just get flattened versions. You don't have to go saving each one. You can just export as 100%. That way it'll export it as whatever size it currently is. And you can just import them individually into the new thing rather than having to go into each individual file and save a flat version of it. That's what I would recommend.
That actually is a brilliant move.
Yeah.
This is why we keep people. That's not a bad idea at all.
Yeah, I've been playing with the same thing because moving over to the Samsung has not been the smoothest experience.
Right.
I didn't realize how I saw with a lot of tablets you can just drag it into the folder and it's good the Celsius folder and it's good to go, and that is not how it works with Samsung at all.
Right.
And so I'm like, what is this crap? So to me,
why?
Yeah, well, it imported chapter 1 or imported chapter 2, the CMC zip folder. It imported it just fine. But for chapter 1, for whatever godforsaken reason, it wouldn't do it. And it was too large for the Clip Studio Cloud. My 50-page chapter 1 was too big for the cloud. It was a gig and a half too big. And so I was like, well, let me see what I could figure out. And I was getting rid of some pages anyway. I cut it down to 39 pages anyway. And that fit, but just barely. It's 8.4 gigs. And then I realized, well, wait, I'm already done with chapter 1. Why do I need to import it over? I'm starting on chapter 2. Why did I just waste my time doing that?
Right.
But chapter 2 is at 6 gigs now already. But yeah, I have more pages than I need. I'm gonna be getting rid of things. I just went through and redid chapter 2 because I got really crazy mixed feedback on chapter 1. There were a lot of people that really liked it, and there were a lot of people that hated it and couldn't finish it. And so I've
really fun for your imposter syndrome.
Oh yeah, it's been a rough 2 weeks because of that. Just because it's really, for whatever reason, it's really hard for me to get super honest feedback. I don't know if it's because I'm a staff position at Global Comics. People are scared to be honest with me. I don't know if that's part of it. But I finally went to some people who didn't know what my job was, and I'm like, guys, I need you to give me the bluntest, most honest possible feedback you can give me.
Right.
Pretend I'm a person in I pretend I'm someone you're hiring and give me the most honest feedback. And I got mixed results. Some people really liked it, and then there were other people who were your timeline jumps too much in the first chapter, and your dialogue is too wordy. and I already knew about the dialogue issue, so at least my suspicions were confirmed. And then they're like, I don't like that you have like 4 pages in the future and then like 20 some pages in the present, and then like it jumps back to the past. And so I thought, okay, let me take those the pages in the past out that explain why and how Aros got to where he is. So I thought those were important pages, so I initially left them in, so I took them out. And then a week later, the feedback changed to, I don't know what this type of creature is, a Miape, which is what Aros is now, because he made a deal with the God of the Dead. That's what he's called now. And people were like, I don't know what this is. I don't understand how this happened, blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, that's really funny, because those are the pages I took out, and now y'all are complaining that you don't know this.
Right.
So,
Take them out.
right, yeah. You're like, you told me to take it out, so I did. And so, because I'm getting like really mixed feedback, I went to my friend who does editing like for comics and manga professionally, and I'm like, hey, bestie, can I pay for like 2 hours of your time on some day, and we can go over this together? And she's like, hell yeah. So I'm waiting until I can sit down with her for 2 hours and kind of go over God's Bane and figure out like what she would recommend. Because I could probably re-explain all of that in the present if I like rearranged a few pages, which is why I redid chapter 1 or chapter 2. I actually went back and completely rewrote it, so that regardless, like if I end up taking those past pages, that information will still be covered in chapter 2. So that whether I keep it or whether I take it out, no matter what, that information will be put into chapter 2.
That makes sense.
So yeah, and then I have my original chapter 2.
Follow it, and it's not like, I don't get it.
Yeah, so either way, no matter what happens, like the information is going to be in there. So that's basically what I did this weekend, is I completely rewrote chapter 2, and then I had to rewrite part of chapter 3 to kind of accommodate for that. But it's all good now. And so we're going to see what she says. Because like, I know some people hate like going back and editing things, but for me, like chapter 1 is so critically important. And if it's confusing to people, I've already redone chapter 1 7 times. So like, if I have to change only like 5 or 6 pages, I don't care. I will do it. If it's just changing text, I will do it. I don't care. Like, I am not attached to the pages at all. I don't. Heck, I literally cut 10 pages out the first time I redrew it, and then I had to wait 3 months to catch up after deleting those 10 pages that I had already drawn. So like, yeah, like I don't care.
You're like, why is this going on like this?
Yeah, which is funny because the 10 pages I took out the first time are the 10 pages I put in at the end of chapter 1. So like, I'm like, people, make up your mind if you want it or not. And depending on what she says, I may just go, F what you guys want. I'm going to do what I want.
Right.
Just tired of the back and forth. Just tired of it. I want to move on from chapter 1. It's been 13 years, y'all. Like, I'm ready to move on from chapter 1.
Time to move on to chapter 2.
Yeah. And then, like, I kept thinking about it, and I was just so paralyzed, like, the last 2 weeks, because, like, I'm just waiting for my editor friend to be available. And so I felt like I couldn't move on to chapter 2, and then just this weekend, I was like, F it, like, no matter what she says, I'll be ready with chapter 2 now. And so instead of drawing, I'm writing right now, which is why I'm not streaming. It's very boring to watch someone writing scripts.
Total coup, man. Total coup.
Yeah, and I'm waiting for my oven to heat up so I can throw my pizza in there.
That's important. By the way, version 2 has these align things, and oh my god, they're so useful.
Right? Have you seen the alternative text and the widow orphan thingy?
They fixed my text. Well, okay, so
almost fixed it.
Yeah, it's good enough for me to operate with.
Yeah, it's not perfect. There's still a few like bones I have to pick with it.
And some weird stuff, but
yeah,
I haven't runs just fine.
For the most part, a lot of the alternative text issues are fixed. I'm just waiting to see if I can put in my CC Samaritan, which is the font I would prefer to use. But I don't know how to import fonts in Clip Studio on my Samsung, so I have to figure out how to do that. I think it's as simple as like putting the font on the device and then just
Yeah, you need the font on the device in its drivers or whatever.
yeah, it's like specifically through Clip Studio you have to add it. Like you have to add it actually to Clip Studio and not your
Really?
device. Yeah,
I mean-
I think. I don't know. I haven't tried it
I
yet.
was gonna say,
Maybe
I have not done it yet.
Yeah, I'm gonna try it tonight.
Yeah.
We're gonna find out. And that's basically what I've kind of done the last 2 weeks while I've been working with like the rewriting and getting feedback on chapter 1 now that it's complete. I kind of just took the month off and let myself get used to the Samsung and sort of like got lots of feedback. I like threw God's Bane chapter 1 like everywhere. Just everywhere. Anyone who would read it, give me your feedback. And so I've just been collecting feedback for the last month. And like waiting for my editor friend to give me her feedback. So we'll see how it goes. I'm scared because she is dead honest. she gets not a fuck about your feelings, which is good.
The way it should be.
That's what I mean.
Because like it's
right.
That's I have a friend who does that too. Yeah. Like, and he's gotten me into some super bad tangles. Like, there was one where I had the final version and I gave it to him, and he's like, "I actually do not know what's going on this page at all."
She did that with a couple pages. She's like, "Yeah, you don't need this information." She's like, "You could totally just delete these pages. They're not help. They're actually like making your manga worse." And I'm like, "Oh, okay, cool." It's like I cut them. Like I didn't care that I cut them. But then people were complaining, "I don't know what this means. I don't understand this." So now that I have feedback from other people, I'll bring that to her and kind of be like, "So here's what you said. Here's what other people are saying." And like the other thing was people hated the names of my characters and the places. They're like, "I don't know how to say this name, and there's just so many names I don't know how to say." And I'm like, well, I didn't want to use actual Indonesian names because there are so many cultures in Indonesia. So like, I didn't want to like pretend like I was like really crappily mimicking a particular one.
I wouldn't worry much about that.
I didn't.
Because
I'm not.
Like, but literally one of the biggest complaints I have about Lord of the Rings is frickin' all of the dwarves are like Bloin and Dwayne and Boyne and Hoyne, and you're like, oh, come on. And it's like, that's the way it is.
Yeah.
And you know what? Nobody apologizes for that. And I'm like, okay.
Right? That's how I'm looking at it. I'm like, wow, you got... Well, the other thing is I'm like, you got, like, especially, like, anime fans, I'm like, Japanese isn't your main language and you're learning all these people's names.
Right.
Like, I didn't know Subaru was an actual name.
It's a constellation.
I had no idea. And so I was like, wow, like, I learned a thing today. Like, this was a couple weeks ago, that Subaru is, like, an actual name. Not just a brand.
It is the Seven Sisters.
So yeah, it was just I was like, that's a little silly that you guys are like upset about that. And I intentionally made all of the names as like simple as possible, like as little syllables as possible. I think Coco has the longest name, and it's 4 syllables. It's Coco Pelu, like it's just Coco. Like it's okay to just call him Coco. Like it's not hard. Now Fale I could see be a harder name, because there's an H in there and it's a little weird, and with it being a fake language, I've construed it a little bizarrely, but like the H is just a double, it just doubles wherever the vowel is before it. It's really that's really the hardest part about the language. And like I've thrown out some of like the fancy names, like all of the villages had unique names, meant like whatever the cardinal direction was in village. That's all it meant. So I just started calling it West Village, North Village to just make it really easy. And then I can slowly work in the actual names. Like, gotta boil the frog, right? So like, eventually people won't even notice.
Yeah, I mean, I actually was thinking, I was having that problem with myself with, if you think about this logically as a science fiction story, in my story, they're 500 years from now and in mixed groups with everybody else. Why
Yeah.
would they use minutes and seconds?
Right?
Why would they use days?
Yeah.
I mean, it's worlds. These are whole worlds. So it's like there's no reason for them to use a day or a year.
Yeah.
It would all be based on like galactic positioning and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
But
Yeah.
then you have, well, we'll be there in 47 crocs. And, it's going to take us
Yeah.
15 blimps to get through here. And you're like,
I kind of just picture that comic where like someone grumps about something. I think it's one of those Adam Tots comics.
yeah.
And he's like, shush, just let people enjoy it or something. Like, yeah, just let people enjoy it. Why you gotta complain about the name? Like, or just ask me. Like, it's basically like the same, like, it's basically the same pronunciation. Like, if you know Spanish and you know Japanese, congratulations, you know how to pronounce these names. Like, it's the same. Like, the sounds are roughly the same. Like, there's a few sounds that don't exist in it because I wanted it to be like a slightly believable language. So there's like a few sounds that don't exist. And everyone keeps calling Ren Reen. And I'm like, no, it's Ren. It's R-E-N. It's clearly not Reen.
Right.
Like, damn, guys. It's Ren, like the bird. It's not hard. Yeah, it's weird. But overall, I think people are liking it. I mean, I just hit 25K page reads, so we'll see how it goes from here. And I think I sold 8 copies of Chapter 1 before I started messing with it and changing things.
Right.
Yeah, I gave people 2 weeks before I started making changes. I'm like, here you go, guys. You get 2 weeks before I start fucking with shit. Messing with stuff.
Okay, I have run into a problem.
Uh-oh.
Ask you for help.
Wow. Okay, before you ask, let me throw my pizza in the oven. I'll be right back.
Throw your pizza in the oven. I will eat another Mekon. Ron
Okay.
Fortier, by the way, Ron Fortier says hi.
Hi, peeps. I can't see all of you, but hello.
Oh no, I was saying Ron. Remember Ron?
Yes.
He says hi.
Oh, hi, Ron.
But he's not here. I saw him over the weekend.
Oh, Fortier?
Yeah.
Yeah. I haven't spoken to him in a long time.
Okay.
It's nice to know that he's still thinking about me. That's cool.
Yeah. Okay.
I still feel like such small potatoes compared to him.
Me too. Okay, so here's the problem.
Yeah, what's it doing?
When I made this here, it's supposed to be 26 pages
Uh-huh.
with a cover.
Uh-huh.
So when I made it in the project settings, I set it for 30, which is 4 cover pages plus 26 body pages.
Mm-hmm.
What it did was make 28 pages with 4 pages. So now I'm like,
You should be able just to delete the pages you don't like. Just delete spare pages you don't want. No big deal.
well, yeah, except that I did that, and then it says, so delete page. And it says the order of cover page will become invalid, so it cannot
Oh.
page to be deleted and try it again.
I see. Okay, so yeah, it's gonna. So it wants the cover page to be the last page. So, okay, so if we combine, do you have anything on pages? I think it's 18
28?
and 19. No, 18 and 19. Do you have anything on those yet?
Nope.
Okay, so click on the left one, right click. Well, it's like right click and do combine. You just have 2 pages too many, right?
Yep.
Okay, so we're gonna combine. It doesn't really matter, just hit OK. And then you can delete those 2, so then you should be able to right click delete. and then should get rid of both of those 2 pages, and then you should have 2, and it shouldn't have messed with everything too much. Is everything still in the right order with enough pages? You should be able to move things around if you still need to, since none of your pages are combined. You should still be able to move things.
Yeah, we got it. We're good.
Yeah, you can kind of like play musical chairs this way.
It'll be fine.
Yeah.
That'll work.
Yeah.
Just...
It'll get her done.
It'll get her done. Thank you.
You're welcome. Yeah, sometimes going like the roundabout way just gets things done faster rather than doing it the correct way.
Right? I'm like, that doesn't even make sense. But
the only thing you have to be mindful of is the renaming process, because sometimes page names can get effed up when you export. Yep. So just make sure you do like the rename thing, the rename trick, just to be sure your pages are named correctly. Because I noticed that happened with mine. Sometimes it does it, sometimes it doesn't. It's really bizarre. Like sometimes I'll delete pages, and then when I go to reopen the CMC, it's like, oh, I can't do that. Or I'll go to open a specific page, it's like, oh, I can't do that. And I'm like, what? So I have to open the CMC, rename everything, and then I can open it. It's dumb.
Yeah, I think Can had that problem too.
Are you sizing up?
Yep.
Guy.
There's nothing I can do about it. It is the wrong.
That sucks. Is that at least 600 DPI?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Oh, then okay, yeah, okay, good. Then you're fine.
Yeah. It's 600 DPI and all is relatively good, but yeah, there's nothing I can do. That's the problem. Is that
I see.
About 40. It was about 22 millimeters off total.
Oh, right. That's why
I'm redoing the whole thing.
Oh, bummer. Yeah, I've thought about like going up one more size, because right now I work at B4. I don't know if I need to work larger than that, but I feel like I need to go up to A4. Mm-hmm. I don't know if I should, because the Samsung already, like I'm already getting like gig sizes of like 6 to 8 gigs for a chapter. I'm not sure if I want to go up to A size when B is already giving me 6 to 8 for a chapter.
Yeah.
And I mean, as much as I love the Samsung, it's not as many gigabytes as my laptop is, as far as like the RAM and stuff.
Right. So like I said, this one was made before I knew what I was supposed to be doing.
Mm-hmm.
So I have to go through, and that's why I'm just like, I'm just going to have to do this, put it in here, scale it up. And they're not going to do.
Right. And I mean, you're at 600 DPI, so technically once you shrink down again, it'll increase your resolution back up. The only thing I would worry about is if you have screen tones, it might mess with the moire pattern or whatever. However you say it.
Screen tones. Not unless I was intentionally doing them. And if I was intentionally doing screen tones, they're at what would be read as 300 DPI, roughly.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so once it gets shrunk down again, they should be fine.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Hi, Miso. What? What are you doing, child?
Yeah.
Just has to make yourself known.
Yep. Speaking of making themselves known, here comes George.
He must have heard the cat. He's like, who is that?
Yeah. I heard him too.
Yeah, it was a pretty crazy weekend though. Thank God it's over. We had C2E2 was this weekend, and the Global Comics app had its first live demos at C2E2.
Yeah.
So I didn't go, but I was just kind of helping supervise socials and stuff.
Yeah. Yeah. We were talking this weekend about how that's not going to work like you think it will.
Mhm.
We were talking this weekend about we've got to get better on our social media. We've got to get out there further. We've got to start talking to people, posting to Reddit, things like that.
Hmm.
I don't post to Reddit because I'm always just like afraid somebody's going to hate this or whatever. And
Hmm.
it's like, you know what? I just, looking at this from a long run perspective, I'm now starting to look at, I probably have like 15 or so years left of like working at a business in me.
Yeah.
Then I probably won't have much after that, but I can keep writing for another 20 or 30.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like keep writing and keep drawing. So what I need to do is pivot this. You know what I mean? Start really working on gaining a following and
Yeah. So how's that work now? Yeah.
Yeah.
It'll be interesting to see how social media changes with Twitter's algorithm now supposedly out for everybody to see, and now everyone's going to be changing the way that they play the game. So it'll be a very interesting time because Twitter and Reddit are my two biggest sources as far as readership goes.
Right.
And Reddit is one of those ones where it's like it's hit or miss, but when it hits, it hits, and like most of it is like and then and then when it hits, it's like, oh god, so many reads. Where are you all coming from?
Right.
I had a day where I hit like my personal like individual day record, and then like March ended up being the biggest month I've ever had. And like I'm still getting reads from that subreddit still. When I'm like, what the frick?
How did you make that work?
Yeah, where are you guys coming from? Who are you people?
Yep.
So like when it hits, and then it's like you can try that exact same thing in another subreddit, and it'll just completely flop. And so it's like it's one of those, and like what I'm noticing with Reddit is like you have to be like actively active in the subreddit. So it's easier to start off with like 1 or 2. Be active in there, meaning comments, upvotes, like give advice or whatever, and then occasionally make your own posts. Like that's what I always recommend to people when
it's the old give 5, take 1, or give 10.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and that's been really working well for me. I'm really only like super active in 2 places, and it's paying me. Which, ironically, the one that took off is not where I'm actively trying to be active.
Right.
So, like, funny how that works. But, yeah, I get a lot of followers from those 2 subreddits, though. And so, yeah. And then Twitter, of course. But I'm super active on Twitter all day long because of my job. And I'm honestly like really freaked out about like about Twitter right now, just because it's changing so much and I rely on it so much. And I don't want to go back to DeviantArt, even though that's my largest following for obvious reasons.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, well, shit, am I gonna be forced to start streaming again? do I actually have to do it? So I'm gonna have to figure out how to do it, like, because I don't have a smart TV, so I can't like mirror to my TV. So I might have to get a smart TV just to stream again, which I don't want to have to pay for. And so I'm trying to figure out all these other ways to connect it. And I got an HDMI cable, so I can connect it to my computer, but I can't figure out how to connect my screen or my extra monitor to my computer now.
Right.
I can't have both at the same time. So I don't know how I'm gonna do it yet, but I'll figure it out. I gotta figure out how to start streaming again. Like that was the stuff I did not think about when I got the Samsung. So I thought, oh, I can just mirror it, and then I realized I don't have a smart TV to be able to mirror.
Right. When you get to that stage, give us a holler because you can start here if you wanted or whatever.
Yeah, I probably will. I'll start small and like ease back into it.
Yeah. I mean, we've already got all the setup and rig, so you might as well join us, and then it's easy.
Yeah, it'll be a lot easier just to like start small. Oh, pizza's done. I'll be right back.
Yeah. Uh-oh. Thing, didn't it? It totally did the thing.
What thing?
The thing where it selected everything in the folder and not actually everything that's here. It does that from time to time. Selects all the things. And I'm like, no, don't do that. I like this setup a whole lot better.
Yeah, we're having an issue with the small dog. The small dog won't calm down and is driving Mom and I insane.
Oh, yeah. You're starting to contemplate maybe killing the small dog.
Just a little.
Just a little.
Just a little.
I have now switched to this because I'm doing all the naked pages. Here are all the naked pages that we got to do. But this isn't taking that long.
Alright, oh, that cool.
Kat was like, "You're sizing up." I'm like, "I know, it's so terrible." Like, I don't want to size up, but I gotta size up. Oh, it's horrible. It'd probably be. No, it's not.
Alright, it is still way too hot to eat, so I'm gonna let it sit for a little bit.
Today was a pretty warm day too. Like, speaking of way too hot to eat.
Yeah,
Just saying.
it's 14 now, and it was all the way up to 22 today.
Yeah, we got up into the upper 20s too. Which is really weird. Well, it's not really weird. Because it's
It is for April.
Yeah, it's April.
Yeah, true. It's the fall
So, yeah.
spring. It's fall spring. Don't trust
Yeah.
it.
Don't trust it. It's just, it lies.
It lies. Yeah. It's not real.
It lies. Doo-dee-doo-dee-doo. This actually isn't going that bad. I thought this was going to be horrible. It's not going bad at all.
See, since you have all your individual images, you're not having to individually export each one, which would be a pain in the ass.
Yeah, and that was brilliant on your part. That whole thing of, hey, don't do that. Just export everything as a JPEG, and then it's fine. And I'm like, oh, what? You're right. Look at this. It all
Works
works.
smarter, not harder.
Right?
That's like the best thing about transitioning to my Samsung is I'm learning how to be lazy like really fast.
Right.
But not reducing.
That's the thing.
I think the hardest part is not having my keyboard.
Right.
Because I'm just used to pressing control and selecting, especially for masks. Because I do a lot of masking when I draw. And now I'm like, how the heck am I supposed to select this? And it's like, oh yeah, select layer. It's like there are tools for that, Cat. Oh my gosh. So it's just like I feel like I'm having to like relearn Clip Studio a little bit.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I could see that.
I like the heads though. The heads, like the 3D heads, like with the eyes and stuff on them now, has been great. Because I actually was just able to make each one like one for each of my characters, and now no matter the angle, my characters are consistent until I can just do it on my own without needing it.
And now you have joined my club. That's totally what I do. Except I do it through Daz, but
Oh, I see.
Studio, I built, like, all of my characters are built in Daz Studio, and they're absolutely consistent. And so...
Yeah, that's been my biggest problem, is, like, making sure my characters are consistent. So...
Yeah, because, like, that's the thing is, even though this is earlier, I did this set of pages like last year sometime, so it's earlier pages than the most recent issue. The characters are still absolutely consistent because I used DAZ 3D for it, which is really cool. I just have like, that's one of my total weak spots though, is, everybody's like, well, you're just tracing. Well, nobody has actually said that either. I just keep hearing somebody is saying that in my head, and somehow that always freaks me out. And then
they're just silly because you're consistent and they're not. They're just silly. It's like, okay, well, do you walk everywhere to use a car? Oh, you use a car or public transport? Exactly. You can check now.
Yeah. It's kind of like, don't worry about the names.
Yeah. Just trust me on this.
Right? After we know what we're doing.
I promise you, after 50 chapters, you're gonna know all the characters. Like, I promise. And then some. And that was like the funny part of like talking to some of these people, is they're like, oh well, like, do you have the backstories? So we on. Do you like have the backstories? Do you have your story figured out? And I'm like, bro, I've been writing this for 13 years. What do you talk? Of course I know my characters. Well, 13 years and you're just now drawing them? I'm like, I have standards. Really? Okay. I have standards.
I had a life.
Yeah, I was homeless twice. I did an internship. I've moved literally 13 times. Like, I've moved more than 13 times in 13 years. Like, you can shut up. I counted. I've actually moved. I think it's 18 times in 13 years. And so it's like, dude, I had stuff to do. Okay, what did you do in 13 years?
You had a life.
Yeah, I've got some cool memories and stuff. I'm like super tired. I'm sorry.
It's all right. We're buddies. That's a cool thing. Like, you and I know each other because of the moving 13 times.
Yeah. So many.
Ian knows you moving 13 times. I think this is a plus.
Yeah. I think a lot of people underestimate like moving around, and if you can learn. If I hadn't moved, I wouldn't have been able to residence with Wacom, and I wouldn't have been able to go to our school, and I wouldn't have been able to go to South Dakota that God first taken place that I have to go back to. The other reason back is for SuperCon, and that so I can have really, really good homemade bao for my friend and homemade hot pot. Like, it's the only reason I want to go back.
Sweet.
She made the best bao. Like I could buy it from her. She would home make them, not like little ones. These were like freaking massive, like pork buns, and they were so barbecue pork buns. They were so good. And she would just like make a huge batch of them in advance, and she'd be like, "Okay, it's like X amount. That's how much it cost me to make these." And I'm like, "Done, cool. I won't have to cook for the next 5 days." Right. Super easy. And then like maybe making some gas to go with it, but I miss those. I miss them a lot.
Almost there. One more page.
You can do it.
Naked people pages. It's not even naked people. It's just Chang.
Yeah, just people.
Just Chang.
Mm-hmm.
Here she is. All right.
Oh shoot! It's the second. I gotta do my analytics today, and I completely forgot. Oh. I do like a weekly analytics check-in with Godsbane to see. So I track my front to cover retention, and then I track my page to page retention, and get an average. because I read this really, I'll see if I can find it for you. I read this super duper cool interview with an editor at Jump, and they were talking about like the page-to-page retention that they expect. Do you want to guess what that number is? Like what they expect, like when it levels out? Because there's a point where the reader commits, like it's. I think they said it's like between 3 to 5 or like 7 pages that they give, and then after that point, like the page-to-page retention should be a certain number. Do you want to guess what's considered good, like minimally good?
It's got to be in thousands.
No, so like out of 100, like what's the percent?
Oh,
Like
they're gonna want like 80% or 75% or something ridiculous, right?
Way higher than that.
Damn.
Way. Like
So-
I was shook when I saw this number, and I thought there's no effing way in hell I'm gonna get that number that high. Okay, I'll just tell you, it's not 6%.
What?
Yeah.
Yeah. See, I just sat here and spent forever trying to guess that number.
Yeah, it's so dumb. So they said that on the cover they experience, even their top series, about a 20 to 30% drop just on the cover, which is expected, like because people will bookmark it, they'll save it, they'll say, oh, I don't actually want to read this. So like the first like 3 to 5 pages tend to fluctuate a lot. But after that, the reader should generally commit, and you want to see like 99.6 and above for like page-to-page retention. So like if 100 people read page 3, 99.6 read page 4, and of that 99.6 read page 5. I'm gonna find that article for you. I think I have it bookmarked on Twitter. I'm gonna go find it. But yeah, I was like, wow, that seems unreasonable.
Seems unattainable.
Yeah.
But that's just the way it feels to me. But I mean, obviously,
it does feel that way. So that's why I started tracking my own, is just to see like what I average. And I actually average like between like 95 to 97%. And so it's not that impossible. At least it doesn't say. I mean, maybe it is, and I'm just like doing really well. But yeah, it was really interesting once I actually started tracking it, and I'm like, oh, this isn't so bad. Where is that meme? Gosh darn it! Maybe I didn't save it. I shall find. Oh, the bookmarks are in the order that I saved them, not in the order of when they're posted. Oh, well, that's inconvenient. Okay, well, I found number 98. I think it's interview number 93, I think. So I can just... Pretty sure it's 93. But yeah, I would definitely, I mean, since you can read Japanese, you could probably get a lot of information out of this. So I'll link this to you, and hopefully it'll be a really good resource for you too.
that'll work. Hey, Patsy, welcome to the show. All right.
Pretty sure it's 93. Yeah, I found it. Okay.
There we go. I think I have now made, by copy and pasting, I've now made a version of this that works. And just in time for George. Oh, thank you.
All right, yeah. So that's the one with the numbers that I just spoke of.
Mhm.
But that whole editorial department blog has been a wealth of information. I highly recommend you read through it. There's a lot of really good interviews and stuff in there.
I don't know if you noticed, but now this is a much easier place for you to come over and visit if you want. Yeah, you're going to go over here, aren't you? Like, you could come over here and get scritches. You know that, right? That's like a thing you can do.
Hello, Patsy. Sorry, I was distracted looking for an article. Nice to meet you. I think I've met you before.
No, I don't. Maybe not. Patsy, this is Cat. Patsy.
Hello.
Patsy's a buddy of mine from a long time ago in the old internet days.
Old internet days.
Yeah, we were on a forum together.
Oh, okay. That says thing. That says everything.
Yeah, right.
The very first website I ever joined was a Pokemon forum called Gengar Hunter's Pokemon Dungeon. Now remember, I'm a baby, but this was in 2000. Oh God, what was my first year of middle school? 2004, 2005, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Like that was my first internet. But that was at school. Like I had to be at school to do it because I didn't have internet at home until my senior year. No, my junior year. Yeah, my junior year, because it was November 2007 when I joined DeviantArt. Yeah, I didn't make my account when I was at home. Anyway, this weird little hutch that had the computer in it, like an actual hutch. That had the computer in it. And I remember like getting up in the middle of the night, like, sneaking downstairs and getting on the computer and trying to be really quiet because mom was at work, and so I had brothers and have them tattle on me, and so like I would sneak downstairs and get on TV. I was really mad because I had to post thing like when everyone was asleep, until I learned how scheduling works. And those were the good days of DeviantArt.
Right?
Like,
That's
yeah.
what's so funny is that, as a side note, Patsy and I go back, like, I think we go back to 99 was when they started. Like, I don't think it was 99 when I met Patsy, but all of us were on a forum called Poser Forum Online, which was...
Oh, I know of that one. I was never on it, but I know of it.
Yeah, and we were all on that forum. And I don't think Patsy was. But then there was a branch from that, and we were all on that branch for a few years. I mean, like, I think until 05, when that branch was shut down. Maybe 04. Yeah, so we started around 2000, and we went through to about 04 on that one. PFO went down, which was kind of a bummer. A long time ago. I think it crashed out in 2000 or 2001, right about there.
Made me feel really... I was in 2000.
Yeah, I know.
I was 9.
I know.
Because I usually have the opposite, because like a lot of the creators that I the global comics are younger than me, and like I'm used to being the old person. What they call me old. I don't call me old. They're old. And so now I'm like, oh wow, I'm such a baby.
Yeah, and it's one of those. Well, I mean, that, like I said, my beloved wife and I had this discussion today about this very thing, because we were both talking about the fact that, you know, how many years left of operational? How many years do I have that's operational? You know, where I can, because I don't think I can teach forever. I can't stand in front of a classroom forever. You know.
Yeah.
So I'm not going to be able to do that. So, you know, there's only about 15 years of that left. And then, but I can continue to write for another 20 or 30. So we should devote a little bit more concentration on comics writing and all that stuff to just keep that, because that's a better long-term plan, especially since a lot of the jobs I've had over the years have been with little startups or people who didn't want to put any money into Social Security because they hated the government, or I don't even know.
Yeah.
But the long and the short of it is, now that whenever I finally hit Social Security, this is what really started this, was that Social Security apparently is going to have to step down in 2034.
What do you mean step down?
Like if you pull from Social Security at that point, it's going to have to be 70%. Because there's no way they're going to be able to give you 100% of your Social Security.
Oh, so you mean it's fucked for people my age? Okay, good, got it.
Yeah, but except that it's not just people your age. I turn 62 in 2034.
That's scary. That and that's where I've literally been telling people that time I get to it, it'll be there, and nobody
There's
believes
not going to be
me.
anything there, and you're paying into it.
Yeah, that's the dumb part. Is I don't want to be like, well, I'm never going to get it. Like, I should be paying in. The reason why I'm paying in is people who are can have something to pull.
Right.
But
So,
honestly, I'm okay with that.
hopefully-
Like, paying
What I'm hoping
means
for
people-
is I think that they're going to probably they're going to have to do legislation or something and fix it.
yeah. Yeah.
Which we
And
have the
honest-
resources to do.
Yeah. I mean, I
We
didn't
just
really plan on quitting anyway. Like, or not working. You know, like, I'm really happy with Global Comics. And like, it's finally getting somewhere. Like, it's, you know, like, we're like the app's coming out really soon, you know, so like it's finally moving. I'm really optimistic. And then like I'm either gonna be doing that or I'm gonna be drawing. So like, I hate to say it. I'm gonna pull like a very classic cartoonish trick, and I'm gonna die at the desk. So
That's my battle
Like,
plan. I mean,
yeah.
honestly, I
bye, Patsy.
Clockwork.
Hi, Clock.
Bye, Patsy. But yeah, that's my plan too, because I actually firmly believe, as my dad did, which was the moment you actually retire is the moment you lose you lose your drive in life or whatever, and you decide to die. So I will keep drawing until I die.
Yeah. I can't imagine doing anything else. Like,
No, I can't either. I can't imagine, for me, why would I do anything other than this? This is the best thing ever. And I have
yeah.
to tell the story.
And if I can't draw, I'll just write stories instead.
That's what I was going to do too. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I mean, even up to and including Microsoft now allows you to talk and it just does it.
Which is cool.
You say
Yeah.
it and it writes it on the screen. So, as long as I can keep talking, we're good. But yeah, it's the same thing. Dad believed that, and I believe it too. He said everybody I've known that ever retired died within like a year or two of them retiring. He was like, I don't want to retire. I don't want to.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I need hobbies.
Mm-hmm.
What is my hobby? Chaos. That will be my hobby. Pure chaos. You can't tell me what to do. You're not my real dad. You can't tell me what to do. Fight me. That would be me in the nursing home. Fight me.
Yeah.
I'd be an absolute terror.
That's one of those things. It's also because, like, my friend had said, "Well, you just have to have a hobby," and I'm like, I don't
Drawing
think
is my
hobbies.
hobby.
Yeah, I think you need to have a
I just
mission.
want. No. The whole ikigai thing.
You have to have something you need to do.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I think that's why I don't mind doing global comics during the day and then my own manga at night. Because like during the day, like I actually get to contribute to the industry,
Mm-hmm.
and then I get to go do my own thing. I can vanish into the void and then come back out for work. Like, really, you know how they have like manga ateliers, for like debuting creators and stuff. I'd really love to create one of those here in the States. Like they used to have like cartoonist houses where they would all live together. Like, why can't we have those that again? So if I ever got rich enough to buy like multiple houses, I'd be like, all right, cartoonists and artists only, get your asses in here.
Right? It's an art commune.
Yep. They have an artist village in Kumamoto, and I'd love to go see it.
Yeah.
I think most of the manga outlets or like mangaka artist houses, you have to be like a Japanese national for, which really sucks. But
I'm
Do you
sorry,
see that?
I've been really quiet tonight.
no, you're focused. That's good.
I feel like this is one of those you've been really quiet tonight because the little dog has not.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's why everyone's quiet, because I talk too much.
Yeah.
Oh, Guy, did you see that there's a new Shaman King and a new Zoids?
Very interesting.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's called Shaman King Flowers, and it's I don't know if have you seen the original one? I'm assuming you have.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's Yo and Anna's kids.
Oh, okay. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and it's actually because like I'm losing his name at the moment. The samurai, like, he moved on to the kid, and so you still get to see him and stuff. And he's completely his dad. Like, he's completely different from you. I haven't like watched it but the promos look really freaking sweet. And then Zoid, I'm not sure if it's like a reboot or if it's like a whole new series, but it looks bloody amazing. I don't know if you ever watched the original Zoids. It looks really freaking cool. It's like the 40-year anniversary or something. It looks amazing.
I heard Delusional Heaven is really good.
Delusional Heaven. I haven't heard that one.
It's a new one coming out, and they posted a teaser for it on Twitter over the weekend. And it looks absolutely lovely.
I remember. Well, there was another series that came out I was really excited for. What was it?
What is? I don't even know what that is. All right. So I upgraded my Clip Studio on my Surface, and it was trying to get me to buy another license. But I think that was just because Clip Studio was still running on my big PC.
Oh wait, didn't let you. Wait, can you say it again?
Yeah, I had Clip Studio 1 on my Surface, and was at my D&D game at my friend's house, and I was like, you know what? We're just sitting here playing D&D, and I don't need Clip Studio right now. This is a perfect time for me to upgrade to 2. Because it had a big red button to say upgrade to version 2. So I clicked it, and it upgraded, and then said, you know, you don't have a license. Your license doesn't cover this. You'll have to you'll have to go buy another license. And I was like, that's really weird. And then it said I had 2 options. I had one was buy a new license, or 2, disable my other license, my other PC.
Oh yeah, you can have 2 licenses installed at the same time. Uninstall one and reinstall the other. So that
So
might have,
is it different than version 1?
yeah, it's a completely different license. So I actually have, so version 2 is monthly, I believe, unless you bought the perpetual. I think there's a perpetual version,
Perpetual.
but it's a
I don't want to do monthly. That's
okay.
ridiculous.
So yeah, it's a completely different license then. So you install it. I would definitely double check. So I just got the monthly because I didn't mind it. So I went ahead and just got the monthly. So I would definitely look into it before you buy anything though, for sure.
Yeah.
I've actually since October.
Yeah, I have monthly with frickin' Adobe, and it makes me mad.
Oh yeah, I'm mad too.
So it's like I was really angry when they said that they were going to go monthly, and then they said that they'll do monthly and a one-time purchase.
Yeah. No, it makes it even silly. Good.
I'm willing to buy one time. That's totally fine.
Yeah.
You know, that didn't bother me, especially since they fixed the widow orphan problem.
Yeah. That's kind of how I felt about it. I felt like the updates were going to be worth it. But this way, I get like considered on it. That way, I can say everything and let other people know, help other people and stuff.
Which makes sense.
So I just went and got like the regular monthly.
Okay.
But I still have my 2 perpetual license, version 1, and so my my desktop has my old perpetual license. And my Samsung has like the monthly. Because I'm trying to get, I tried to buy a second license for the monthly, and it won't let me. You tell me there's an error with my card. Which is funny because it processes the monthly gold subscription just fine.
Right.
So I'm gonna have to call Graphicsly and figure out what's up.
Yeah, that's interesting. That's kind of a thing. All right.
And I have until October to figure it out. Because if it doesn't work October, I'd have to basically start over. It's really easy to add a second. My biggest complaint about Loom is you have to buy a completely second license for chapter 2 or version 2. You just buy it for basically it's not by default on your devices.
Right. And so many of us have a portable and a master computer. You know.
But it's only $15 for me. It's $15 to buy that second one, which is what I'm happy to do for only $15. Like it's $15 a year. Like I'm okay with that. But every time I try to do it, there was an error processing your card. I'm like, that's so dumb. Like there's plenty of money on there, cheap. So I'm just gonna wait, and if I have to, it'll be the same price regardless. I just hope that eventually it lets me buy a thing.
Right.
Mm-hmm. You know, but it'll still cost me. It'll be 90 something. It's $98 a year for Clip Studio. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
And versus what the 200 something I spent in 2017, and I've never had to spend anything else again other than buying gold for stuff. Utterly ridiculous.
Right. And that's the thing. Okay, so Clip Studio Paint EX version 2 one-time purchase perpetual license. Here's my license number. Okay, good. Enter activation code. See details here. Okay. Somebody on the forum answered my question and
Okay, good.
Answer the question about what.
It is a different license, though, right?
It says the message: the license is already being used on another device. You need to switch the active device to use it on this device.
Yeah.
So you have to deactivate and launch on this device.
That's weird, because for me it does it automatically. I can just automatically switch without to the other device to deactivate it.
Well, and maybe I just need to do it once. Because it says version 2 one-time purchase license. If you purchase the Clip Studio Paint eligible products and meet the following conditions, you can install the use the software on up to 2 computers.
But that's not at the same time.
Yeah, if you wish to use the software on a second computer, please switch to that computer.
Mm-hmm.
Which I think what was happening was I think I still had it open over here on this machine because I was at my buddy's house.
I see. Oh,
so
yeah.
That might have been the problem.
Yeah, and they really messed up when they initially lied for everybody. Like, it was so... There were so many people that bought the wrong one.
Well, it doesn't help that the way they have it named is really stupid too.
Yeah.
Like their lower end one is called Pro, but the Pro one is called EX. And
right.
It's
like extra. That can make sense of it. Is EX for extra, or like extraordinary, like whatever, like that would be bigger than Pro, but I can make sense of it. But then the way they named it, it's still not very helpful. I'm trying to explain to people, oh, the is really the normie version.
Yeah,
like that's the normal version. It's weird, but they tried. An attempt.
It's like, just call it the regular version and then the Pro version, and everybody will know what the hell you're talking about.
Right.
Don't get
What makes it worse now? Good.
It's like, don't get fancy with your next level marketing scheme.
Oh, it gets even better. There's now a premium version of EX.
What?
Yep, there's a premium version.
What's premium?
I have no idea. I remember seeing a mention of it.
It's only a Nerf gun.
I remember seeing something about premium when I was looking for the newer, like, which version I needed. I was already an APK of Clip Studio out.
Yeah, I'm noticing
didn't take
that.
long.
I'm like already an APK out.
That didn't take long. Wow. Let me go double check, make sure I'm not wild here. Let's see. Yeah, here, premium plan. It's a premium plan. Let me see what that's all about.
Clip Studio Paint Premium. Yeah, because they've got debut.
Yeah, there's the debut, the Pro, the EX, and then there's like premium.
Right.
I figure out, like, even I don't know.
You can still go up from 1 to 2 for $56, for $57.
Yeah.
Can. Just in case.
I know, but every time I get close to that, I get knocked back down. So
I
I've been
understand.
really, really angry.
But I'm just
about
saying that it doesn't look like the price is hiking back up.
Yeah.
Premium plan. License. Oh, I see what it is. It looks like it's a dual device, or a premium has 4 devices.
Oh, okay, so that's basically what I'm trying to do then.
Yeah, so it has nothing to do with us trying to. It's not like that affects us with, you need the premium plan in order to, do the alternate whatever widget thingy. Which that's fine. I don't need 4 devices. I literally need my Surface and this, and that's it. Those two need to run. But that's all I do is I need my Surface, so when I'm at a coffee shop, I can keep working. That's all.
By the way, have you guys seen the Lackadaisy pilot?
Yes, it's so good. It's so good. If you haven't seen it, guy, you should definitely watch it.
Yeah, you should go check
I
it
watched
out.
it
It's fantastic.
and give me the link.
It's like I hit the end of it and I was like, okay, so where's episode 2?
Mm-hmm.
What the frick? Are you serious? We have temporarily changed the payment system for monthly and annual plans in response to use of fraudulent payments. We apologize for any disruption while we seek to resolve the issue. Normally, you would be able to sign up for a new plan on our website and pay with a credit card. However, for a few Windows and Mac users, we'll have to sign up via Google Play, the app store. So basically, even though I'm trying to upgrade to a dual device plan, I can't because there's too much fraud going on. And so they've disabled like being able to upgrade. So it says that there's no change for payment plans for the update past discounted version or blah blah blah. Due to this measure, a special rate plan for dual device for owners of the perpetual licenses will not be available. So let's see. Yeah, okay, here's the part that matters for me, because my renewal date's upcoming. That's why I'm freaking out. Is if it renews and it denies my card, then I don't have Clip Studio.
Right. And you need that.
So if you are currently signed up for a monthly or annual plan, my plan is annual, by credit card payment through our website, and the plan renewal date occurs during the downtime, it will be automatically extended without additional fees. Okay, good. Okay, good. So I'll just have to suck it up with one device for now. That sucks.
I don't know, man.
That makes me mad. Makes me really mad. Because now I'm stuck on one device. I can't go between them unless I buy a whole new license.
Right.
Which would be another $72.
Right. No.
Fuck that. I'll just suck it up. Because I have a bunch of materials. Here's what I didn't know. There's a bunch of monthly, when you have a monthly or annual plan, there's a bunch of special assets that you can only buy with that plan. But I didn't know that if you buy them through the monthly plan and then you lose access to the monthly plan, you can't use those items anymore. And some of the things on my laptop that I used to create my chapter, that now if I try to into Pages, I can't re-add them. I can't do anything with those materials, and I upgrade my laptop to the annual plan, the monthly.
Can you draw Kirby eating a carrot? Well, somebody could.
Would he turn into a carrot?
Right? I think Kirby turns
he
into
turned
a carrot.
into Carrot Top.
Oh, I guess he wouldn't turn into a carrot? Okay. Kenyon is on it, doggone it.
Yeah, I also know why he asked for that, because it looks very, very bad. But I also don't care.
And then Guy just believe.
Yeah, it depends on,
No, he doesn't have teeth, does he?
No, I don't think so. Well, a lot when you go to their streams, they don't like random recommend, so that's all it is. I'm just fine to do a quick little fun drawing.
And you've also landed on a stream in which one of the guys here is like ultra fast, and that's what he does.
Yep, it's true.
Mm-hmm.
Can is super fast, so
Yeah.
you happen to be in good hands there. I, on the other hand, am building the next issue of my comics. So I got 2 more of these guys to make as soon as I can get my hands on it.
Oh, did importing and rearranging your comic that way?
I'm sorry?
You said you were resetting it up for print. Are you already done with that?
Yep. Didn't take that long. So now I'm building issue 2 of my main episode.
Yeah.
I've got I set up this internal page, and I had already set it up on the other one just fine. So I'm like, you know what? I'm just going to keep using this because this format works fine. So,
have you ever been to?
I'm sorry?
Have you ever been to Comiket? Like while you were there to Comiket?
No, I never went to Comiket. I wanted to really bad. But it was expensive, and we were like, oh, we don't want to do expensive.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
I'm trying to convince my boss to let me go.
Right.
Yeah. For research purposes, of course.
Right?
I gotta research the manga market.
It's important.
To make us more competitive.
Well, the downside of it, like the indie version, is at like the worst time of the year, and so it's outrageously expensive.
Because it's during Golden Week, isn't it?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah. Never try to go to Japan during Golden Week. I laid low during Golden Week. I didn't even want to travel in Japan during Golden Week.
That's what they say, but I was trying to get the Togashi exhibit, which was in Roppongi during week. Like I figured that would be a cool place to be during Golden Week. All the just the way that Roppongi is with all and stuff. But it happened and then I didn't get to go. So I guess Hongi lucked out. They didn't have to deal with her. Exhibit is heading to Huku next. I think that's where it's going next. I'm waiting for it to come to the US because if LA, I will go. I do not care. I will buy a ticket and I will go to the here. I will pay $100 to go see an exhibit. God damn it.
Fair.
I will find a reason. Like, all right, boss man, it's time for my 2 weeks off. I get my 2 weeks vacation right now. I would be really shocked if it didn't go to LA or New York. Eventually. Freaking Togashi, like, how did it not go to New York or LA? I'm hoping they'll do a mirror of it someday to go see, like, not just Berserk, but, Woden. His early works that a lot of people don't know of and all that good stuff.
There we go.
Kirby.
That definitely looks like Kirby.
Does, yeah.
You can't tell what I did a lot of, but RTG can.
I know, right? When we were out working with the kids, the number of Pikachus that I drew.
Oh my god, really, for real. Anytime I did one of those events, can you draw Pikachu? Can you draw Charmander? Can you draw Charizard? Sure, with you and about 50 million other kids.
Boy, you guys were lucky. God, I would have loved to have drawn all those Pikachus. You know what I got stuck with? Could you draw Deadpool?
Right.
That's fair.
I'm not gonna lie. I got Deadpools too. Hey, Donald.
I don't ever asked me to draw Deadpool. I got a lot of Pokemon.
It's fair.
In fact, even here, I was at a local Comic-Con last year, and like number one thing that surprisingly, I was really shocked, was Squirtle above anything else for whatever reason.
Really?
Yeah, it was like, I was not expecting Squirtle, and so I'm like, what the fuck does Squirtle look? I've
Right.
never been asked to draw Squirtle. I think
I don't know how in the world
had, like-
we would have survived in
Yeah.
the era before cell phones.
right.
Doing what we do when we're at conventions and we're on table and we're trying to get those kids to the kids are coming up and they want these things done fast, and here we all are trying desperately to do it, and then it's like,
Oh, for me it was even worse because this was live, and so like people would there was a screen behind me basically mirroring my stuff, and so they were like, "Hey, draw Squirtle for me." And I'm sitting there and I'm like,
Right.
"Oh my god, I draw Squirtle!" And so like I brought up my phone reference really fast, and so phone propped up there, looking at like multiple drawings of Squirtle and like drawing my own version of Squirtle. And I was like, I need a project to work on, so they'll need to draw stuff. So like I started drawing my own version of Ash's poster in episode 1. And they actually really liked that. They're like, "Wow, is this poster?" I'm like, "Holy shit, you know what this is?" Yeah.
right.
Like, I remember watching the original back in the 90s. Like, yeah, I know what that is. I'm like, oh, okay, cool.
Nothing wrong with that. Man, I gotta tell you, the alignment tool is so useful. I'm just aligning everything, and it's all lining up nice, and it looks so pretty.
It's so good from like all the like non-drawing pages, or even the panels. Like like sometimes the panels get off just slightly.
Yeah.
You can like perfectly line them up.
And I love the idea that you can put a marquee up and then align the marquee.
Mm-hmm.
Man, that's so useful.
Doug from Up is like one of my characters ever. He is my soul animal, my spirit animal. So, like, I always joke in meetings that I'm easily distracted, and whenever I get really distracted, my supervisor will just say squirrel, cat, squirrel. I'm like, oh, okay, sorry. When he says squirrel, he means I'm getting distracted. It's so funny.
All right. This is me.
There you go.
Alright, Kirby. Oh my gosh, bro.
Yeah, no. Not bad at all.
That was quick.
So there you go, Kirby.
Good job, man. Thank you.
That was like, good job.
I know. Just stupid fast. Every time.
Stupid fast.
I just feel like, no, I don't feel that bad. I actually feel like I'm doing pretty good. That I can roll out an issue in a month. That's actually not bad.
Issue?
Yeah, if I really put it down to, if I push hard, I can do it in a month.
Mm-hmm.
I think, in theory, because I can do a page in 2 hours, and we do two of these shows. So
oh, I see. Yeah.
I could do 2 pages a day, in theory. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And so
yeah.
5, 10, 15, 20 pages a month, and then the last, whatever. I guess we can. So I guess maybe not a whole issue, because it'd only be 20 pages in a month. Oh no! That's 40 pages. So with
I was supposed to say.
I can't do math. Damn it, Kat! I'm an artist, not a mathematician.
Dude, I love math. I love doing my own taxes. I love playing the game. What are you trying to say?
Oh man, no way. I am not that kind of person.
Taxes is like a game for me. It's fun.
Oh, that's cool. I mean, that's actually great.
Yeah. It's like, how can I win the most money? Looks like C2E2 was good this year. Maybe next year I can go. I haven't been to a convention since 2018.
Really?
Yeah, I've not been able to. I've just not. Well, South Dakota didn't have any cons. Specifically the last Sodak.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's like no. That was like 8 hours away on the other side of the state.
That's true. I mean, I didn't know where you were in South Dakota, so it's kind of like
Falls.
Yeah.
Yeah, literally opposite, unfortunately. So, I mean, I think Chicago was technically close. It was just as close as Sodak. Yeah. So it was the only convention in Sioux Falls really on, and it's so tiny. Like there were some years that didn't have it because there just wasn't enough people by the venue.
Right.
So it's still one of those ones that they don't even hold every year. And I think I stopped it all together now.
Sodak, yeah.
No, SuperCon. Did they stop Sodak too?
Yeah, Sodak didn't go. It didn't survive.
Damn. Well, there's just not enough people, and the people up there sticks their butt anyway.
No, but I think Charisse is going to start a new one. Because I happen to know the con chair for Sodak, because she comes down to Indy K and does our cosplay.
As far as I'm aware, there's only I think 4 bookstores in all of South Dakota. I think there's only 4, there's 5. Like there are actual comic book stores and not just we all sell this and books. So
I feel like
there's
Ian should be an animator.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah. Yeah, the only one that I really know of in Sioux Falls is Rainbow.
Mhm.
And then as far as the other side, I don't know. I only went over to the western side like once. And that was when I was on vacation. And it was a holiday weekend, so everything was which was a really bad time to go.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then like here, like I'm like an hour out of 12, so there's a lot of stuff here.
Right.
But even like there's no Barnes and Noble. Like, I have Books A Million instead, and it's okay. I think it's a little friendly, honestly, to like ordering your own books and then waiting for them to come in.
I concur.
But I don't know if there's any like actual comic book shops here. No,
That was my problem when I
Alright.
lived in Texas.
there's one. I know of one in this town, at least one.
Yeah,
'Cause it's
because
not that.
I was quite a ways out of Houston when I lived in Texas, and it was like
Mhm.
just nobody, you know.
Yeah, there just isn't a lot of stores here, and honestly, it's been so exhausting going to comic book stores. Like, as a woman, I don't really like going anymore. I just don't. It's not fun.
Mm-hmm.
Except that I work with Global Comics, like they're always like, oh, like, are like, do you know what this is? I'm like, yes, you dingus. I've been ordering it. I'm on like Monstrous, right? Like I've been reading, like I've been Monstrous, and I think I'm on, 37 right now, and like I had to order because they didn't have it. I forget which one it was. It was in the 30s. They didn't have it, so I ordered it. And so I put it on a list. Like I just added Monstrous to my pull list, so it would just get updated every time. And he's like, "Are you sure you want Monstrous?" Yeah. I've been reading it for a couple years. I've not seen you in here before. I just moved here, stupid. Like, do you want me to go find a different comic book store and put my pull list there? Or like Valiant, right? So like I've been getting art wrong. And he's like, "Oh, who are you getting this for?" Me?
What?
Me? Like, I read Valiant. Does that surprise you? like I read Batman. Does that surprise you?
Why is this an issue?
Yeah, like
the deal?
why is this surprising? Like, or Saga. It's like, oh, this is pretty gory. This is pretty violent.
I
I know it's
and-
great.
Yeah.
So to really screw him up on that one, he goes, "Yeah, isn't it great? Did you see the head come off on page?" Just
Yeah, like it's like they question me to see if I'm like actually reading these things. I'm just like, oh my god, like comics are like so cool. Like I like want to read some comic books, and I think like this one sounds really cool. So, like, what do you think? I'm like, is that their impression? It's like, bro, I work for a comic platform. Just like to the pull list instead of like he literally questioned me on every single comic, and it's like, dude, just put it on the list. Just do it. Huh?
Yeah. Gatekeeping.
Yeah, it's so dumb. And then like he started like I literally like I told him like I work on a platform and like I make manga. He goes, "Oh, we don't do manga." Yeah, I know. Just I'm for the comics, like they can handle it somewhere else. But here, I'd like to go to an actual comic book and support an actual comic book store for my actual comic pull list. I mean, I can do both at Books A Million, but I'd rather support a comic book. Like I have to show up later on Wednesday, but I promise you I'll be here, bro. Because I don't get off work till 6.
People gatekeep, especially when you talk about things like comic book stores. I mean, these places are having a hard time competing with Amazon, so you'd think that they wouldn't gatekeep. You know what I mean? Like, we've got better things to do than to gatekeep.
It was a younger guy, so like
Donald, you got it, Doug. Doug, just for you, Donald.
Squirrel. I'm just Doug.
I love you.
Doug is really good. He's one of my favorites. Yeah, it was a year, so I feel like he just didn't know better. And I'm like, okay, well maybe he's been indoctrinated by the Bro Club. Like, allow me to correct him. Bro Club. Like, and I knew Bob Hall was coming into town for like a convention, and I really wanted to have his signature. I used to have, well, it's not that I don't used to. I have at my mom's house a Shadow Man #1. And unfortunately, I wasn't going to drive up to South Dakota to go get it.
Right.
And so like I'm in, and I got really lucky, and like I happened to find a Shadow Man #1 that's a 9.0. So like I bought it, and I'm very happy to buy it. And when he asked me why I'm buying it, I'm like, oh, Bob Hall's coming into town to sign it. And he's like, you're gonna open it to get it signed? Yeah. Yes, I am. Because it'll probably be worth more than a 9.0 after it's signed. Oh, yeah. Well, like, you take, like, really good care of it, and, like, you keep it out of sunlight, and, like, make sure, like you have, like, gloves or something on to take it out, because, like, your fingers could ruin it, and, like, make sure, I'm like, dude, I know. I collect comic books. Shit, son. Why do you think I got a 9.0? Like at least a 9 and above. Why do you think I did that? Because I fucking know.
No, I would horrify the guy because it's like, yeah, I know. And then at night I take it out and I rub my dick on it.
Yeah.
You do it open in for you.
Like,
and so like when I was at the con, I went up to Valve and I was like, oh hey, like yeah exactly, like there are some you buy to read and some you buy to collect. I'm of the frame of mind like read what I'm buying. So I'll buy one for me always, and then like I'll have like if it's in a nice enough condition when I buy it, I'll just go ahead and bag it up, bag and board it. Like if it's nice enough, I'll just do it right there. Like as soon as I get home, it is in the board or in the bag and board and done. Then it goes to the archive box. I also have an Armstrong #1. Like both of my #1 mom's house. And there's Comic-Cons coming up in June, so I'll probably go again. Because have you seen the prices for mailing that shit in lately? Holy heck!
Yeah.
I'm like, fuck this. I'm just gonna wait till that's up. Take it and get it. Take it and get it here. Because the guy's like, yeah, like at this con, they said that they had to sticker it. They had to put an actual sticker on the book. And I'm like, no. Nope, you're not putting a sticker on my book. I will wait until graders come by. And then I'll pay for it. He's like, it's gonna cost you a lot of money. I'm like, yeah, it's also hopefully gonna be worth more than a 9.0. Like I know this book is at least a 9.0. So like it's either gonna be a 9.0 again, or it's gonna be slightly better than that. And it's a Shadow Man #1, so you bet your ass it's worth it.
Yeah.
It amazes me that people think that like I don't know, like yes, they're like I'm stuck to comic books, so there's a lot of things I don't know. But like they automatically assume the thing instead of asking me, oh, well, do you know about this or do you know about that? It's like by default they assume that I don't know. And it's like, you could ask me if I know rather than assuming I don't. I mean, I'm not a smart man, but there are some things I do know.
But you also, particularly nowadays, you shouldn't assume that people don't know about comics. I mean, look at how many female creators are now really starting to become prominent comic artists. Like,
I think it was an older series, and like those are traditionally read by men, and they were, oh my god, it's a girl. There's no possible way she would be interested in this. So like, I have to announce my superiority, and like, and maybe they wanted to genuinely share stuff about that with me, which is fine, but like the way they went about it was really not cool.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
no,
every time to a shop,
cool.
I have to like verify my nerd. It sucks.
Hey, Tessa.
Hi, Tessa. How are you?
That never happens in manga. I've never had to. Well, okay, I can't say that. That's not true. If I'm in like if I'm in like a Barnes Noble or something, I'm looking through like sometimes people will try to recommend girly shoujo, really girly shoujo manga to me, and I'm like, hey, like that's nice and all, but have you read like the newest Dorohedoro? They're like, oh, you like Dorohedoro? Oh yeah, like they're like, oh, okay, yeah, that's okay. And then they're fine. It's like they assume, like, I like shows. Don't get me wrong. There's a lot of really amazing shows, but like, don't assume, bro. Like, Berserk is my favorite series. Okay. The Yu Yu Hakusho. Like, Yu Yu Hakusho is first, and then it's Berserk. You did, yeah.
Totally walked in on.
I was complaining that I walked into a comic book store to buy Shadow Man #1, and the dude literally asked me who I was buying it for. Me! So it's me! And then he proceeded to get mad when I told him I was gonna buy Bob Hall, and because he was at a convention that particular weekend. And he's like, you're gonna open it? It's a 9.0 #1. You're gonna open it? Yeah, that's how I have to get it signed, dingus. Like, how else am I gonna get it signed? I have to open it. It's gonna be worth way more after. Like, yeah, just being. I was just complaining that as a woman, I have to prove my nerd card.
Well,
because,
it makes you feel better. I happen to know how much of a nerd you are.
I'm incredibly nerdy. I literally am so nerdy, I chose a comic book platform.
Mm-hmm.
I literally do the features 3 times a week. Like, I have to read so much comic book. It is so many books, so many manga, so many webtoons every single week. Like, for this coming week is 53 books long. How much reading. Right? Yeah. And well, like, okay, so like Bob Hall was like, I know he has this controversy, but like when I went to talk to him, he was actually really, really nice because, you know, like he's mostly like a black and white artist. He can do color, but he really enjoys black and white work. And for me, I feel like I have to so much, huh?
Is that a controversy?
No, something else. Like, apparently, like, I guess he cost this guy his job or career or something. I honestly didn't. Like... Yeah, it was a long time ago. But like, I was just chatting with them, and I told him like I picked up, you know, Archer Armstrong because I saw like it's really contrast, and I really like high contrast work. You know, I like black and white art, so I thought it was really cool, and that's why I reading it, and he's like, "Oh, there really isn't like a large creators that really do really good black and white work. There's too much color. He doesn't like the way things are colored nowadays. Blah blah blah. Like old person complaining about the new kids. Typical that kind of thing." I told him like, "Oh, well, I love like work too. I draw in it." And he's like, "Oh, well, can I see it?" And I'm like thinking, "Oh God, I make manga. He makes comics. He's gonna hate it." And he's like, "Actually, I really like the way that you handle your black and white art. I really like this." He's like, "Can I read it online? So I have a book." And I'm like, you can read it online yet?" He's like, "Oh, here's my card. I'd love for you to like your website." I don't have one. So yeah, he actually like wants to see more and wants to keep up. And he's like, "Just update me. I'd really love to like see more work from you," which was nice, but that was really nice to hear. Like a literal legend tell me that he thinks I'm writing at a pro level, because he asked me like, what comics have you worked on? I'm like, I did some lettering for T-Pub. He's like, "No, what have you drawn?" I'm like, "Lettered for T-Pub." That's it. He's like, "Oh, you've not drawn for any?" "Not technically, no, just mine." And I guess he seemed like shocked. So I will take that as a compliment.
Take that as a compliment.
So yeah, so getting complimented by Bellfall was really nice. Just to like hear like an absolute legend, or whatever, and then to get like his book signed, and it was really cool. I was really mad I couldn't find a new Armstrong #1. Well, I'm gonna have to go up to South Dakota and get all my stupid books. My stupid books. The good about South Dakota is up there it's pretty dry in general, so shouldn't have too much humidity problem.
Yeah. Yep. I'm sorry, Donald. It's midnight. I just heard my phone go beep and tell me it was midnight.
And I just got done drawing Carl.
Carl?
That kills people, Carl. Please tell me you know what I'm talking about.
Yes.
Yes, Carl.
Carl.
Carl, what did you do? I stabbed him in the chest 37 times. Carl, that kills people. Oh, how was I supposed to?
Carl, where are his hands?
I
got hungry.
Hungry, yeah. Also that. It's so funny. I think we watched quite a few times at the RTG. They're watching.
All right, guys. I am OOH, so I'm going to bed. I'm starting to fall asleep.
Yeah, I gotta get up in 8 hours for work, so I gotta head out too.
Yep. So I know that Tessa just showed up, and it's kind of a bummer because I'd love to chat with you. But Tessa, he's like midday for you, so like it's the other side, mid-afternoon. So I hope you have a wonderful. Oh no, it's all right, man. You're good. You're always good. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, nice.
So,
Nice to meet you, Tessa. Almost, I'm not this crazy all the time. Sorry.
It's just late. So, okay, guys. Well, we will see you all later. Thanks for joining us tonight, Kat. I appreciate it.
Yes, thanks for having me, as always.
Yeah, you're always welcome. Thanks for being here, Tessa and Donald. And I know we had, for a while, we had some other. We did have like. Well, I don't know who.
A bunch of different people.
Yeah, we had some interesting people.
We had
Happy here. We had Patsy here for a little while. Brent was here, of course. Optic Sphinx. We did have Sarge for like a minute, and then Sarge went to bed. And then that was fine. Yeah. We had Minty earlier, but that's sort of the way it goes. Mm-hmm. And so anyway. Thank you all for being here tonight, and we will see you. And of course, I'll be broadcasting tomorrow morning So you can join me then, and I'll be broadcasting tomorrow night. And until then, it was great to see you guys. And remember to keep your eyes on the stars. Goodbye.
Goodbye.